This is Midway from the Japanese perspective. It's June 4th, 1942, the day before the Battle of Midway. Tensions are high aboard the Japanese fleet, also known as the Kidō Butai, or striking force. They are a mix of veterans from previous battles and eager young pilots eager to prove themselves. Among them is Lieutenant Commander Mitsuo Fukita, a veteran pilot with a steely gaze and nerves of steel. He is chosen to lead the first wave of the attack, a critical role that demands precision and courage. The U.S. radar operator spots them and gives the order to turn on all lights. McCluskey immediately springs into action, organizing the fighters into a defensive circle around the Yorktown. The scene is one of controlled chaos as the pilots scramble to take off and race toward the approaching enemy. In the air, a deadly game of cat and mouse ensues as the Japanese bombers drop their payload and race away from the American fighters. Admiral Yamamoto grows increasingly uneasy as he receives conflicting reports and realizes that the battle is not going as planned. Despite the uncertainty, he decides to send a second wave of planes to press the attack and secure victory. Explosions erupt over the ocean as bombs find their marks, sending up towering columns of water and debris. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Yamaguchi wastes no time in preparing his aircraft carrier for action. He knows that the success of the mission now rests on his shoulders, and he is determined to deliver. They must not only support the other Japanese forces, but also protect their own ship from possible counterattacks. Yamaguchi, with his years of experience, calmly assesses the situation and issues orders to his crew, ensuring the Hiryū is prepared to defend itself while supporting the offensive. Despite the danger and uncertainty that lie ahead, Yamaguchi's bravery and leadership inspire those around him. They work tirelessly and efficiently, carrying out Yamaguchi's orders and maintaining the ship's readiness for action. The Japanese and American ships maneuver and trade blows, each side determined to gain the upper hand. They fight back with determination, inflicting damage on the enemy and protecting their own ship. The losses they have suffered are heavy, but the lessons learned and the bravery displayed will forever be etched in their memories. For Yamaguchi and his crew, the experience is a defining moment in their lives. Shaping their perspectives and strengthening their resolve, they carry the scars of battle, both physically and emotionally, but they also carry with them the pride of knowing that they played a part in one of the most pivotal engagements of the war. Amidst the chaos and destruction, Yamaguchi's leadership and the crew's bravery shine through. The Hiryū, though damaged, continues to hold its ground, playing a vital role in the battle. As they move forward, they do so with a deep sense of honor, knowing that they have faced the enemy head-on and emerged with their heads held high. Despite the intensity of the fighting, Yamaguchi remains calm and focused. The odds are stacked against them, and the damage to the Hiryū is substantial. Despite the challenges, Yamaguchi refuses to surrender. He continues to lead the fight with honor and dignity, inspiring those around him to keep pushing forward. He directs the Hiryū's crew with precision, ensuring the ship's guns are used effectively to defend against the enemy. The fate of the Japanese fleet, perhaps even the war itself, hangs in the balance as Yamaguchi and the Hiryū take their position in the battle. His crew, already shaken by the earlier attacks, rallies together under his guidance, knowing that the fate of the Japanese Navy hangs in the balance. The Hiryū, along with its complement of skilled pilots, is the last hope for the Japanese fleet to turn the tide of battle in their favor. Yamaguchi and his crew, battered but unbroken, emerge from the fight with a newfound respect and admiration for their adversaries. They have fought bravely and honorably, and they can hold their heads high knowing they gave it their all in the face of adversity. Amidst the chaos, McCluskey's group manages to down several bombers, but the Japanese have sent enough planes to overwhelm the American defenses. With the fate of the mission resting on their shoulders, the pilots climb into their Mitsubishi Zeros, the sleek, powerful fighters that have become synonymous with Japanese aerial prowess. The journey is fraught with tension as the crew remains on high alert, anticipating possible enemy encounters. As the aircraft carrier approaches the designated area, Yamaguchi makes the decision to deploy his planes in support of the other Japanese forces. The Hiryū's pilots, a mix of veteran campaigners and eager young recruits, take off and head towards the ongoing battle, eager to contribute to the fight. In a desperate attempt to defend against this new threat, The Yorktown's anti-aircraft gunners open fire, forcing the Zero to break off the attack and flee. He leads a group of dive bombers tasked with targeting the American carriers. Fukuda and his crew, fully aware of the importance of their mission, fly with precision and determination, aiming to deliver a decisive blow to the enemy. The damage to the flight deck is significant, leaving the ship's aircrew exposed and vulnerable. Yet amidst the chaos, a small group of sailors led by aviation ordnanceman Second Class John Tunnison Jr. springs into action. They managed to clear the damaged planes from the deck, giving the remaining aircrew a chance to regroup and defend the ship. Their quick reactions and disregard for their own safety save the lives of many and demonstrate the true meaning of courage under fire. As the engines roar to life, the planes taxi onto the runway, each movement precise and purposeful. The deck is a scene of devastation, with fires raging and equipment destroyed. But despite the setback, the crew quickly begins the arduous task of repairing the damage and preparing for the inevitable counterattack. With the situation critical, Captain Buckmaster makes the decision to launch a search and rescue mission for the pilots, who managed to escape the initial attack. Lieutenant Commander Wade McCluskey is placed in command of the rescue operation, which will require skill and precision to navigate the dangerous waters and locate the missing pilots. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew work tirelessly to repair the damage to the Yorktown and get it back into the fight. After the attack on Pearl Harbor and the subsequent Japanese advance across the Pacific, the United States Navy had retreated to Midway Atoll in the Indian Ocean. In his mind, the battle plan is flawless. The Japanese Navy is superior in numbers and experience, and once the American carriers are destroyed, victory will be within their grasp. But little do they know that a series of unexpected events will soon unfold, putting the entire mission in jeopardy. The Japanese fleet under the command of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto had positioned itself near the atoll, ready to deliver the final blow to the American fleet. Once Midway was taken, Japan would control the Central Pacific, establishing a strong defensive perimeter around its empire. As the sun sets over the horizon, casting long shadows across the flight decks, the Japanese pilots gather for one last briefing before the crucial attack. On the bridge of the Akagi, the flagship of the Japanese fleet, Admiral Yamamoto watches with a stoic expression as the planes take off and disappear into the night sky. Meanwhile, aboard the USS Yorktown, Captain Elliot Buckmaster watches the Japanese planes disappear into the darkness. He knows that the attack is coming, but he has no way of knowing the full scale of what is about to unfold. Despite the tension, there is a sense of confidence among the American crew. They are well trained and prepared, and they know that their ships are among the most powerful in the world. Buckmaster turns to his navigator, Lieutenant Commander Wade McCluskey, and gives him a steady look. "We'll be ready for them," he says, his voice firm. As the first rays of dawn begin to break over the horizon, the Japanese bombers approach the American fleet, their engines thundering in the pre-dawn quiet. Amidst the pandemonium, one lone Zero fighter swoops low over the Yorktown, strafing the deck with its machine guns. As the Japanese planes depart, the extent of the damage to the Yorktown becomes clear. Amidst the chaos and destruction, the men of the Yorktown show incredible resilience and determination, refusing to let the setback defeat them. In the aftermath of the first wave of attacks, confusion reigns as the Japanese planes return to the Akagi, without providing any clear intelligence on the situation. Meanwhile, aboard the Hiryū, Rear Admiral Tamon Yamaguchi receives orders to join the fray and assist his fellow Japanese pilots. Yamaguchi, a seasoned and respected admiral, takes command of the situation with a calm and steady demeanor. With renewed determination, the Hiryū sets course for the coordinates provided by Yamamoto. Among them is Lieutenant Commander Mitsuo Fukuda, a decorated pilot with a reputation for bravery and skill. As the battle rages on, Yamaguchi and the Hiryū's crew face a daunting challenge. With the stakes so high, the crew of the Hiryū rises to the challenge. Yamaguchi leads the Hiryū into the heart of the battle, where it engages in a fierce exchange with the American naval forces. As the battle reaches its climax, the Hiryū takes critical hits from the American ships. But Yamaguchi and his crew refuse to back down, and even as the fighting intensifies, Yamaguchi and his crew realize that they are facing an uphill battle. In the end, the Hiryū, though severely damaged, manages to survive the battle. As the smoke clears and the sounds of battle fade away, Yamaguchi and the surviving crew members of the Hiryū reflect on the epic clash that unfolded at Midway. The Battle of Midway may have been a decisive moment in the Pacific War, but it is also a testament to the human spirit's capacity for endurance, courage, and resilience. The memory of the fallen comrades lives on in their hearts, and their sacrifice serves as a reminder of the cost of war and the importance of peace. And that's all for this episode. See you next time.